Are you ready, Dr. Barth?
I'm ready.
I hope I'm ready.
We've
It is
changed all of
Thursday, after all.
our audio and video setup. Is
Oh
this gonna
my,
be
yeah. I think we're having as much fun or more just like configuring the silly setup. But it is fun to be live on the internet again with you this fine Thursday.
Yes, and welcome viewers. Welcome to Rubber Duck Engineering. I'm Adam.
And I'm Eric. And I think today we're going to continue our Unity, Brickles, Breakout, whatever it's called, adventures.
Yeah, I think we owe the internet an apology because we've been calling this game Brickles. And I think we learned over the course of the past week that the original version of the game is actually called Breakout. Brickles is the version that I played when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was like the Mac OS 7 clone of Breakout. Because I also played Brickles.
It had really great animations where like your paddle would like grow and shrink if you'd like done a good thing or a bad thing. It's like Pinocchio's nose, but
So I think today we were gonna like actually make the game playable, because last time we ended in cacophony with we realized we were in a 3D world, but we should just cut to the chase and show the codes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Where are the buttons of destiny? Okay, all of the buttons. Nope. This is the button. The button.
I think we should run the game again just because it was so entertaining what happened.
Just to entertain ourselves.
In case you missed the end of last stream. So what happens is this paddle has too much physics. So when the ball collides with it,
I still find this funny.
It's acting as a 3D object instead of like game thing.
Yeah. So and what are we? So okay, so we have to decrease the physics, physics.
Yeah, I think we got to remove the rigid body from the paddle. I think that was our critical error.
Well, how's it going to collide?
I think it will collide just because it has a collider, but the rigid body is making it respond to the collision.
Okay, so I find a delete remove component.
Yeah, right. Try. I don't know. See what that does. There we go.
Okay. See, it really was too much physics. Okay.
So I guess if we want to make the game playable, we should make a way to move the paddle.
Yeah, let's make the paddle accept inputs. I've seen like Stack Overflows on this. I know this is possible. We can just go find one.
Yeah, I think we have two choices here. We could either we need to add. Well, I guess we have to decide how we want to control it. I'm assuming we would want to just do keyboard for now.
Yeah, either the mouse or arrow keys. Either is fine.
Why don't we start with arrow keys? That seems like the simpler way to start.
Okay. Shall we look? Arrow key control Unity?
Actually, do know how to do this. Yes. Oh, that'll also tell you. This was in the tutorial that I watched a couple weeks ago.
There we go.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep. That's how to do it.
Sold to the highest bidder. Okay, so we need to put this in the paddle behavior, which I bet we don't have. Okay, we can stop bouncing. It's so glorious. We also need a way to win when all the thingies are gone. Okay, we don't have a paddle behavior, so let's create one. Tell me if I'm going off script here.
No, I just
paddle
totally the right thing to do.
Behavior. Show me the script. Okay. And then we just want left and right. We don't need up and down.
Yes.
And speed, fine. Does seem like a reasonable thing to change. Public float, probably. I don't remember which Unity prefers.
Unity seems to be floaty, at least so far.
It's probably more like 100. I have no idea, or 1,000.
Well, keep in mind, now in our prototype, we didn't know about time delta. And now we know about time delta. So what's happening is the update isn't called on exactly the same time displacement. And so time delta lets you know how long it's been since the last time update was called. So this will let the paddle move at a consistent rate, regardless of how fast the updates are being called. It's exactly like if you're familiar with the request animation frame, it's exactly like the frame time in the request animation frame.
Makes total sense. Is it a constant, like, or a global?
It's given to you as a static for maximum, I don't know, C sharpness, but like,
Or just that they didn't have one when they first wrote the update method, and now they do. That is so crazy. Because like then that makes unit testing hard. But anyways,
yeah, I mean, it works. Like,
obviously, many games are written this way.
I think that 100 is going to be a lot. I predict the paddle is just going to fly off the screen.
I'm pressing the buttons.
Oh, we need to associate the behavior with the paddle.
Oh, that'd be cheating. Okay. It has been dragged and dropped. Oh.
No, it's not that far.
That's a little bit much, but
you probably want to turn it down. Are you? If you press it,
almost want it to be like acceleration.
Yeah, so they have a whole fancy axis system that is like a modeling joysticks that can do acceleration and deceleration. I don't know how crazy I'm going to go with that.
Is that like physics where we're going to regret adding it?
I think it may be a bit of a detour. Like, it has a very fancy input system. So like, the other thing you notice is this input is very hard coded. Like you said, exactly the left button. They have they have a mechanism where you add a layer of indirection.
I see.
So like in many games, let you reconfigure your keys. So we could do that. But I think this is just totally fine for now.
We got stuck to the wall again, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it may be time to upgrade our physics, because right now you can't really control the ball. All you can do is either hit it with a paddle or not. Whereas normally in Breakout, where you hit it on the paddle changes how the ball responds.
Yes, I agree. That'd be fine. I guess there are like a few things that I would want to do. Like, can we make it so you can win the game?
Sure, why not?
We have to like keep track of how many bricks are left.
Yeah, I think whenever we should just keep a counter in the game controller. Whenever we make a brick, increment it. Whenever a brick dies, decrement it. And when it hits 0, I don't know, something amazing should happen.
Let's do it. Game controller. Brick instantiate. I see. So the brick has to tell us. This almost feels like you want to have like a brick controller.
Whose job it is to manage the bricks.
Yeah. Maybe that's too much refactoring. But we talked about that before, that like when you add these, you want to add them underneath something.
Right.
I don't know whether that's the brick controller.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there are all these design patterns with delegates and things like that. I get the sense in game development they're not super big on those design patterns. They more just go for the concrete thing.
Okay. Okay, so I want to do two things with the bricks.
Uh-huh.
One is I want to put them in another object.
Okay, so you want to figure out how to instantiate them below an object.
Yes.
Okay. So I think we need to read up how to do that. There must be some variation of the instantiate object that gives you like a parent.
Instantiate with parent. Instantiate poison smoke. Oh. Prefab's parent.
Like maybe the parent property hangs off the transform.
But then how does it show up?
We could try that. Like, see, like the thing I would look for is when we're playing the game in the player, that it shows up in the hierarchy view. Then it may just hang off the transform.
Yeah, that's so random.
Yeah, so, I mean, we now see like 3 sites telling us this is the way to do it. I think we should try it.
All right, well, that's easy. So you just do. So we would just instantiate a like generic object, right?
Well, we can add the generic object, the parent object, in the editor.
Mm-hmm. So at that point, then, aren't we just making a brick controller?
Sure, we can call it brick controller.
And of course, because like another problem we're going to face here is when you start, like you should be able to restart a game, right? Somebody has to handle that. Presumably the game controller does. And then how does that tell the brick controller it's time to restart?
You could maybe just add the brick controller. So there's also the scene idea. So we could figure out how to transition scenes. Like maybe when you win the game, you go to the victory screen, and then when you're done with the victory scene, you can go back to the what we call the sample scene, which I guess we could rename to the play scene or whatever.
Okay. I don't know if that's
none of the tutorials I watched taught me how to make a new scene, so that'll be an adventure.
Yeah. I know I'm asking you a lot of questions. I'm just sort of trying to like bounce these things off.
Yeah, I don't know the answers. I'm just trying to brainstorm with you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's back up. I think I've taken us on a tangent. How do we get? Let's get a win game. So let's detect that all. So we could just do that by giving the bricks a pointer to the game controller and letting them increment their counter.
Yeah, let's start by trying to keep track of the number of bricks that are in existence.
Right. So if this thing had a public game controller or something, whatever that's called, and then on collision enter.
Yeah, I think you want to go simpler there and have it have a game object as its controller, and then we'll.
How is it going to know the method exists?
We'll use get component.
Do we need like an interface?
Yeah, we should figure out how to get the mono behavior. Like there's a function called get component, which I don't know whether it'll work, but we could try, which is templated based on the class, which I think will let us get the appropriate class off the object.
Okay. So get component. I see.
Yeah, it has an angle bracket version, which does the casting for you. We've used it in other scenarios. Yeah, like that.
Right here.
So I think I would try that to try to get the game controller off of the game object. I don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a try.
Because we're supposed to just hold on to the game object?
The game objects seem to be the way that they want you to wire the universe together. And these other things hang off the game objects.
Okay. So controller dot get component game controller. I mean, that makes some sense that the behaviors are these little scripts that are hauled off of the objects that presumably the engine controls the lifetime of. That's not going to work. This doesn't feel great, but the names don't feel great, but we'll live with it here. So now we're going to do controller, and we're going to say
on brick destroyed.
remove brick.
Yeah, on before brick destroyed. It's C#. You got to have all your cool on before, like.
Yeah, you're taking me back to the web, man.
Or another thing we can do is rather like,
Yep.
Well, I'm just wondering if rather than having the brick destroy itself, it could just tell the controller, "Hey, I collided with the ball," and then the controller could be the one that destroys the brick.
Sure. On brick collision.
Yeah.
Game object.
The brick.
Brick.
Yep.
Oops.
Yeah, I think you need more voids.
I need more voids. And then this is going to be on. Oh, I still have to like pull this out, don't I? After this, and then on brick collision. This,
I think game object.
why not? Okay, that makes some sense. It's a little weird to have somebody else delete you, I guess. Well, yeah.
I think it's more weird to destroy yourself. But...
yeah, it's a little more weird to destroy yourself. I hear you. Okay, so
let's try this and see if this.
So we have to wire this up when we create the bricks, right? We have to instantiate.
Well, we can also just wire it up in the editor.
Oh, that it's like a prefab?
Yeah, the prefab could just say the parent is always the game. The game controller is always the game controller.
Okay, I don't know if that's less weird, but sure. Sure, yeah, we can try that. Let's controller object. Inaccessible due to protection level. Fine. I will give it the publics. Public
static
really
void.
I really need
something
a C# formatter is what I need.
Have you your C# formatter?
Oh, go for it, please.
Actually, I have a format command in my thing that I just applied to your file. In my Visual Studio Code, I can say format file, and it does something.
I probably can. I probably can too. I just have to. Okay, so we're now going to teach this the prefab of the brick.
Mm-hmm. We should have the script in there somewhere as a. But yeah.
Like, does this make sense that you're like? I see only prefabs.
Only prefabs. I see. So maybe we just have to do it dynamically at.
Which would make some sense.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Like if you try to instantiate in some other scene, it would get confused.
Okay, so. So this then needs brick dot.
Yeah,
controller.
Yeah, controller object.
Oh, except this is is this the game object?
Oh, I wonder if we should just use the parent object. Like we could just tell our parent that this happened. Like we don't have to manually wire it up because we already.
Oh, is there a parent object pointer?
I'm just saying if we say brick.transform.parent equals game controller, then that's another way of establishing the connection.
Sure. So transform.parent?
Yeah.
We'll just see.
I'm just riffing off your idea that you wanted to collect all the bricks under a parent.
Yeah. I mean, we're flailing here, but that's part of the point. Okay. So
I think
we should just test and see if this works.
I think you need to set the parent in brick.transform.parent. Because right now the parent is the scene, I think, or the root object or something. I think game object rather than this.
I got to keep moving back and forth between. Why is it not like that?
Ooh.
Transform. Yeah, that makes more sense. That advice may have been old.
I see. Okay, maybe we should just go back to using explicit objects then.
Parent pointer unity. How do you like move object under parent unity? I don't know. Like, what does this mean? Transform. That's the parent transform.
I mean, it's clearly showing what we're. We can try setting it to our transform.
Like, what is transform? Is it not what we think it is? Does transform like include a game object?
I would just search here for game object. Yeah, it has a game object. So transform is not what we think a transform is, because we're still thinking rendering engines and graphics and stuff.
Whoa.
So the transform has to be attached to a game object.
I'm so confused. Is a transform? It's a component.
It's a component, and probably all components are associated with game objects. Yeah, so I think if we just do exactly what we had here, if we had in the game controller, if we say brick.transform.parent equals
Transform or game controller.
And then in the brick behavior, we could say transform.parent.gameObject.
Well, it seemed to work before, the get component. It had no objection to that. So presumably transform forwards the...
I see components themselves have... I see. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the distinction between game objects and components is a little bit squishy in my mind.
I have no idea.
Should we try this? Go ahead.
It's also hard for me to tell whether this is intentional design or whether... What'd you say?
Oh, just suggesting we give it a try and see how it goes.
You there?
Oh, I think we might have some lag in the video.
I think we're having stream trouble.
Okay, why don't you keep going and I'll try reconnecting.
Yeah. Oh. What do we have? Oh, no. Oh, I see. No, it's me. It's me. It's my machine's running out of power.
I see. Well, minor technical difficulty. Are you trying to plug your machine in to give it more power? Is that the idea? Oh, looks like we lost Eric. Unfortunately, Eric's computer is the one that's running the editor in the game, so we may have to wait for him to reconnect before we can make progress on this video. Oh. Yeah, I think one of the things that we're seeing here is it's a little hard to tell when you look at a mature system what parts of it were designed this way and what parts of it sort of evolved to be this way based on like making iterative changes to the system while keeping backwards compatibility. So clearly there's some design intention here that has to do with this hierarchy of scenes, game objects, and components. But we seem to be running into a little bit of squishiness in those concepts where things like the transform, like if the concept that I'm used to with a transform is that a transform is just a math object, just like a rect or a vector. It just is a an object that contains whatever it is, 16 floating point numbers. But what we're seeing here is that the transform seems very associated with the game object because it's tied into the component system, which is then each component then is associated with a game object. And then there's a little funny thing where it seemed it would be conceptually clearer if the hierarchy was strict, or if you had a scene and a game object and then a component. The ability to go from one component to another without translating the game object is sort of revealing a little bit of the sort of breaking the mental model a little bit, because it's allowing you to jump from one leaf to another in the structure. It's not a bad thing. Like, it could also just be an intentional part of the design where, like, if people found that it was too verbose to constantly be jumping back and forth between components and game objects, and they just made it easier, you could just elide that that part of the structure by repeating some of these methods in other places. I'm not really familiar enough with Unity and its history to know how it got to where it is, but it's a thing you see in basically every system. So Alex Can asks, is it that transforms are all relative to a potential parent object? That is what it seems. In other systems that I've seen, transforms are relative to other transforms. So, for example, in OpenGL, there's a transform stack that contains the transforms. And in GL, the transform stack is independent of any of the objects. They're just math objects that you end up multiplying together. And GL has this like push and pop method for adding and removing transforms from the transform stack. Welcome back, Eric.
Theoretically, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you great.
I'm sorry. It turns out that laptops require power in order to broadcast. Just pro tip for any viewers out there.
Makes a certain amount of sense. We were just talking about path dependence in API design, and how when you have a large number of users like Unity has, it's harder for you to evolve your API surface because you can't go back and make breaking changes to it.
Totally. Okay, so I think I'm maybe ready. I'm maybe ready to make this go. Oh no.
What is the next challenge here?
Okay, are you back?
I appear to be back.
Okay, good. Because I'm trying to orchestrate this from my other machine that is down to 4% power. 4% power.
And it just really up. Is when the battery turns red and it gets really mad at you.
Correct. So as soon as I can add the screen share from that, I can stop and let it rest in peace.
We have this trouble. Sometimes we do video conferences with my family where the iPad will get really excited about telling us that it's at 5% battery, and we'll like black out the video and black out all the audio. And it's okay. We'll feed you power, iPad. It's going to be okay. For a while, we had a power supply that wasn't powerful enough to actually increase the battery charge on the iPad while it was doing video conferencing, and so I had to get a like higher amp charger. And now we can actually like video stream on the iPad for arbitrary lengths of time.
So I can no longer see you, but I can see the screen and I can see Unity. And let's rock.
All right. So we were going to try this. I give it about 20% to work.
Oh, this. Okay. So we're just going to press the button and watch it crash.
Well, it'll. Oh, all the bricks went away. That was not what I was expecting, but that's fascinating. How did all the bricks go away? Oh, I bet we destroyed the game controller.
You think we destroyed the game controller?
I bet we did. Let's go look at what we said in game controller on brick collision. Yeah, we totally destroyed the game controller.
That would not be ideal.
Well, no, but that's it. It was mostly working. Like, to get that error, it has to go really far into
it. Very, very positive side to look at here. Okay, if we stop, we start again. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I think we're like 1 inch from keeping count of the number of bricks.
Totally. We want is it public?
Feels like it should be private. Like I don't want someone coming in from the outside and.
Assume it starts private. Do we do underscores? I don't know. I know you don't know the answers to these.
Oh, I do. It's M underscore is the C#.
Oh, it's like C. It's like I'm back in C. C++ land. Oh man, there was like a decade of my life writing M underscore. I can totally do that.
I do appreciate some indication that you're manipulating a member variable because they're like half globals, right? They're like you have to know what you're doing when you're manipulating them.
Okay, so now what do we do when we hit 0?
I totally think we should investigate making a new scene.
So what I would actually rather do is something simple, like change the color of the paddle, or
we could just add them all back.
Okay. We just call add bricks. We don't know what our bounds are.
Right, so we need to factor that out. Yeah, factor that into a method that we can reuse.
Okay.
We could also destroy the paddle. Like, are you just looking like as an indicator that we've reached the condition?
Yeah, I mean, ideally you want it to like show you success and like go on to the next level or whatever.
Mm-hmm. We could have a prefab that we instantiate that like has a big. We could get our tree back. We could instantiate the tree.
Okay, let's just destroy the paddle and just for giggles and be destroy. I wonder what the difference between destroy and destroy object is. No clue. Okay, destroy paddle, but that's a prefab.
Right, we'll have to keep track of the paddle that we created. Which is fine. We can keep track of it.
I want like to show a button that you press to like start again or something. But
okay, so whatever. We can make a new prefab, which is the thing that shows up when you win the game, and then we can have that respond to clicks or whatever you want it to respond to.
Okay. I'm sorry, it's really awkward not being able to see you. I'm sort of slowly getting over that. Okay, we're going
here, just as beautiful as I always am.
I believe you. Okay, so going back, we're just gonna hold on. Does this move us closer to? I see. Okay, well, so fine. We'll just do that. Game object. M paddle. It means I also can't see the chat. So if folks are chatting, you'll have to let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know.
I apologize to Alex or anyone else who's talking to us. Let's see, we create a paddle somewhere.
By the way, it's very easy to change scenes. But yeah. Hey, we can do the paddle thing. It's good to keep track of the paddle anyway. But I think after that we should use the.
This is not what I want. I want if brick count is equal to less than 1. Okay. All right. Oh,
you gotta play it.
I gotta play it. Yeah. We also need to like figure out how to lose. What happens when you lose?
Well, we can just put if you collide with the bottom wall, then we can tell the game controller that you lost.
Maybe we also need to change the color of the bottom wall. Whoa. That's interesting. So depending on how you... I'm a host at this point.
You're giving the ball some spin here?
I almost lost. If we'd only implemented that.
You just like quickly dodge the paddle out of the way.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The sticking.
Oh no! You removed the up and down control on the paddle, and now I'm kind of regretting that.
I see. That's whoa. It fixed itself, sort of.
Your paddle's about to go away, my friend.
Yeah, there we
It
go.
worked.
Okay. That's our.
Yeah, the physics is a little questionable, I think.
Yeah, that's clearly on the list of things to fix.
I think you should explore making new scenes. I think that's a way to
Sure.
branch out.
Why not? Let's do it.
Why don't we rename this scene something other than sample scene?
Oh, but it's totally the sample scene. Okay. What should we rename it?
I don't know. Play scene?
How do I? Oh, it's like a file name too.
Yeah, just rename it.
Play.
I would call it scene.
I have no idea what I just did. That might have been a terrible idea. Play. Scene. Yes.
Okay. Does it still work? It still works.
Question.
It can't be too bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Still works. All right. So let's try making a new scene. That has yeah.
Okay. Okay. Make a new scene. So this would be.
It may be down at the bottom, like in the assets world.
In the assets world. Scene. Okay.
Victory.
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 Or like main menu, but yes.
Oh, main menu.
Well, it's like. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, call it main menu. Go for it.
Menu scene. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like what you load into.
Yeah.
What do we show?
Do we need to double click this, or how do we get to the edit mode of this?
Yeah, sure. What happened to the other one? Whoa, I see. So that's how you switch between them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we add like a big great, like I don't know how to do text yet. We can try to do some text, or maybe UI. What's in UI? Can we make a button?
Text.
Button.
Button. What's Text Mesh Pro? I have no idea.
No idea.
Play.
All right.
I think I just named it play.
I see.
I want to change your contents. Okay, where are you? Do you have text? Interactable, okay. What happens? Like, oh, it is.
Looks clickable.
Yeah.
It clearly knows how to name itself button. There must be some. Can you in the canvas on the left there? Can you expand the play button in the scene graph? I wonder if it has a child. That's a text node.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah.
Good thinking.
This is
play.
Totally how we play. Sweet.
The play button.
Can we rename it play button instead of just play, just for the sake of my sanity's sake?
I do want to keep you sane here, sir. Play button. Okay.
Cool.
So now we have to teach it how to like wire up a click. I have no idea what like an on-click handler looks like for Unity. On-click list is empty.
Add something. Whoa.
Okay. So like we can find public members to call. Okay. So
event system. What's event system?
Submit, cancel.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. There's clearly reading in our future.
I kind of think we need to should make a menu controller object and then have the button call a method on that to get us back into code world.
Well, like there might even be a. But like, how does the menu controller call like long-lived things? Can things live outside the scene?
Well, so I found a method for changing scenes. So I would think if we can get back into Code World, then we can just load in the play scene, and then when the play scene is over, we can load in the menu scene and like flop back and forth to make the game work.
So like the play scene has a game. The play scene has a game controller, right?
Right.
Does this belong inside the scene?
I think so. It's sort of controlling. It's like
this one does as it currently, but we need something that's above this, right?
I'm not sure we do. I think Unity may be above us.
Oh.
I think we should just try orchestrating the scenes. Like I get the sense that it's sort of like the navigation controller in React or in Flutter.
All right, well, let's just try it. So you think that we should add that is...
Oh, it's in the wrong directory, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't actually know where it goes. Up here, I guess?
Yeah, I think we're not.
I see.
We still have our tree textures. We could probably delete our tree textures.
We need to apply some organization. Well, maybe not for this project, maybe the next project. Okay. So we could put a new script in here. Create C# script. And this is the menu behavior?
Yes.
Controller?
Sure.
Okay. So
I think we're going to need a game object to associate it with.
Well, I think we could just instantiate it, right?
Well, it's a script, right? We could try to attach it to the root object, but we can also just create a new object. Yeah.
Okay.
I bet there's patterns that you're supposed to use for all these things that we're just,
we're blindly ignoring, yeah.
Okay, so let's in here make a new. Inside there, let's make a method that the button is gonna call.
Yeah. Public void play start game.
Sure.
Okay, and now we want this thing. Again, I'm sure anyone who has any clue how Unity works is looking at this and being like, what are they even doing? No, we want runtime object. We want not none. Oh,
maybe we could just call the script directly. Maybe we don't need to indirect through an object. We could try it. Do you want to? Can you just click on that?
Menu controller. I have no idea.
This seems a little suspicious. I don't think this is going to work, but we could try it.
I mean,
we're trying.
How interface builder would work. And what would this do?
Can we just log or print or something just to see if we're even getting
it's
here?
Like debug dot log print. Yeah, log foo.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that. Oh, I bet it belongs to this. Okay. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite. Like, I don't think we have an instance of our class yet. It's kind of what I'm thinking through.
Our menu controller? Yeah, like how does this thing know to talk to that? Source image button. Navigation automatic on click.
What are our other assets?
I see.
Oh, scene. Oh. How come the canvas is there but not the runtime? Well, not the
well, what is canvas?
Canvas is I learned about this in the tutorial. This is the parent for all of your UI widgets.
Is it that it's your parent as opposed to, or maybe the canvas inherits from something that makes it targetable? I think we need to
events.
we need to actually use to the research machine here. Button, click, Unity.
Oh, apparently we can associate a script with the button, and then it will call task on click. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Let's try it that way. Maybe that's more direct than what we were trying to do.
All right. Do we need to remove any of our craziness that we added? Oh, it seems to be removed. That doesn't make any sense, but sure. I know. Value cannot be null.
Oh, look at this. Actually, go back to that webpage that you were just on. I was just reading it a little bit more carefully. Notice that so in this world, the click example, this would be our a menu controller. On its start, it would find the button and then add itself as a listener to the click, which makes a certain amount of sense.
Okay.
Yeah, Alex is saying that once we actually manage to call our code, we want to call scene manager.load scene, which I believe is correct. But we're just trying to actually just get our code to run it all at the moment.
I have no idea what this is. Try locks. Let's ignore this for a second and just assume that it's going to go away, because it may very well. Okay, so we're going to remove menu controller.
No. Menu controller is good. We wanted the menu controller.
To the menu controller. Aha!
Yeah, so do we associate the script?
But I thought we had to associate the script with the button. Oh, I see. You're right. Yeah. We're going to associate the script with this.
Yep.
And then this thing on start. Yep. Just like this.
Yes, just like that.
Now, how did we get it? This is that
we'll associate it in the editor, yeah.
Which is a little janky that's how they do everything.
There may be better ways of doing these things.
I'm sure there are better ways of doing these things. Like we, you, I, whatever, need to actually watch some real Unity programmers do this.
I bet if we watched the tutorials again, we would know a lot.
Oh, it would make so much more sense, yeah. Void task on click. Doesn't need to be public anymore. And we have a start button. Button cannot be found. Fine. We'll use the Unity UI. Okay. So now we need to go back to Unity and teach this about just the menu controller about the button.
I think you have two of them. You may want to remove one of the instances of it.
What do you mean?
In the inspector pane, you see two copies. I think we did it twice. That's all.
It's a little odd. Okay.
So this is looking good. So now I think we should do what Alex suggests and try calling load scene inside of start game.
Make it so. Do you give it a name or?
Yeah, I believe it takes the name of the scene as a string.
I see. It doesn't auto-generate things for you.
Yeah. So what do we call it? We called it play scene. Then we need to give it a disposition. Oh, I think the default disposition is going to work fine.
What's a disposition mean?
Whether you want to transition to that one or you want to add have them both going at the same time or things like that.
What's it at? Where is scene manager? It's presumably in some subzone of Unity engine.
Yes, we need to use some more things.
Okay. We want to set this as maybe we don't have to. Maybe we just hit play and it'll go. Play scene cannot be loaded because it hasn't been added to the build settings or asset bundle will not be loaded.
Oh, maybe just say assets / or maybe scenes.
No clue.
Maybe just scene / I don't know if that's going to help. add it to the build settings or the asset bundle. Yeah, we need to figure out how to name our scene.
Top section where your other scenes are. Enter the name of the scene instead of entering the build number of your scene.
Slash scene, hit scene. Why loaded asset bundle?
We also might want to try and even. Oh, I see. You did try a fuller qualified path.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see what this does. Nope. Okay. Something about like a build number. I don't know what that means. Oh, asset bundle.
Right. So this example I have has something about asset bundle.
None. Okay.
If you look in the Unity documentation for scene manager load scene, we could try to more closely
Is Alex telling us how it's working? Again, because I can't see chat.
yes, build settings and all scenes to list. Alex, can you help us a little bit? I see what you're saying here about build settings and all scenes to list.
Load from file.
Oh, maybe inside the editor in our build settings, we need to add all of the scenes. Like, go back to the editor and see if there's a build settings that we can manipulate. Like maybe in the edit the file menu. I remember seeing build settings before. Build settings.
Okay. Scenes and build.
Yeah, adds. Okay. So that's
Oh, add more scenes.
More scenes. Maybe try opening the other one and try adding it then.
This cannot be the way. Great, done. Oh, did that give it numbers or something?
Yeah, I wonder if now we're going to start in the other scene. I just edited the file to change it to match the paths that we saw on that screen.
Asset scenes, place scene.
Yeah, so I changed it to remove assets. So now go back to Unity and have it recompile. Okay.
Does this little spinning wheel of loading. Whoa!
Oh, it worked. Thank you, Alex.
Oh.
Super helpful.
But the thingies don't work.
Oh, the arrow keys don't work? Oh, that's interesting.
It is fascinating that
But let's go back and then have the this scene when it's done transition to the other one.
Okay. Menu scene. No, sorry, play scene. Oh, it's actually here. It's in the game controller, which really should be the play controller now that we've, but that's fine. All right, we want the Unity scene manager thing up here too.
Yeah, I can start copying and pasting this stuff over.
That's fine. Sure, copy away. Scene management, load scene. And instead of deleting the paddle, oh, you're doing it. Great.
Let's add this.
So is that going to like clear this?
Oh, you did that already.
Like, will it reset when you load the scene?
No idea. It'll be an adventure.
It will be an adventure. It's always an adventure, Dr. Barth. Oh, so now we're back because it plays whatever scene happens to be So this thing stopped working. So I have no control. We just watched to see, which it will do because we've seen it do it before.
We can also change the threshold number, so that it goes faster.
Oh, like after a single brick.
Yeah, if we don't want to wait for the all of the bricks to go away to test in each
But
cycle.
where's the suspense? Okay, yes.
Do we need a drum roll?
No, we're doing it. We got it. All right, if brick count.
We can just remove the conditional. So the first brick that dies will cause you to win the game. It's a very, very easy version of Breakout.
All right. Support this.
You got to play it. You got to do the yeah.
This may also be the last thing we do because we're getting on towards time here. But
I tried again. If you click it again, do you go back?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This is now a fully winnable game. We can't lose the game, but we can win.
This is cool. Let me see if my machine is back from the dead. Yes, it has 45% battery power. It can talk to us again now.
Excellent. Okay, so I think we made some progress. So we made it so the paddle didn't fly off into outer space. We made it so you could control the paddle, except that doesn't seem to work right now. And then we added the ability to win the game by destroying a single brick, and also by destroying the correct number of bricks.
I think we made some significant progress.
Alex, I want to thank you a lot. You really helped us by showing us the secret place where we had to add all of our scenes so that we could switch between them.
Yes, Alex is here secretly teaching us Unity so that we can look good on fancy television, or not so good. Sorry for the slow replies. I hear you, man. But thank you for the help. So that was an even more exciting, at least technically more exciting than expected Rubber Duck Engineering. But we'll find the battery power for next week. And
I think we've been teasing exploding bricks for a long time. So I think we should commit to having the bricks explode next week. Are we willing to make that commitment?
I'm willing to make that commitment. We're going to actually figure out particle systems or whatever it takes in Unity.
Whatever it takes, we will make the bricks explode.
I think it'd be great if each one exploded as the ball.
Yes, exactly. That'd be awesome.
Particles.
Yes.
Next week, particles and more particles. Let's do it. So, anyways, Dr. Barth, Internet, it was wonderful to see you.
Yeah. See you next week.
See you next week.